Namo Doi Sauriyantam, Namo Doi Sauriyantam, Namo Doi Sauriyam, Namo Doi Sauriyam, Namo Doi Sauriyavati Savanam, Omkaramendo Sanyukta Nityam Jayanti Yogina, Kamadamokshano Chayomkarai Namo Namo, Manganam Bhagavanayo, Manganam Uttamodi, Manganam Kurkundari Vijendra Musu, Manganam Namasamari Sadhana. Svanubhutya Jaka Siti Savaya Savaya Savaya.
Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Ariyantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Aryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Ujjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Savanam. Om Karam Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Om Karaya Namo Namah. Nama Samay Saraya Swano Bhutya Chakasate Chitsavavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnana Timirandanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaturun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Nama Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayavanta Varto Omkaranada Jinano Jayavanta Varto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayavanta Varto Ne Tirthachara Jagama Jayavanta Varto Namo He Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangaryotene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho Upakara Jinavarano Kundano Dvani Divyano Jina Kunda Dvani Apya Aho Te Guru Kanano Aho Te Bhagavati Matano Dhruva Achalane Anupama Gati Pamela Sarve Siddhane Vandi Kaho Sutta Kevali Bhasita Asamaya Prabrata Hare Ho Eka Suddha Sadha Arupi Jnana Darshanamaya Khare Kayanyate Maharu Jari Paramanu Matra Nathi Hare Jam netra te maj jnana nati karak nati vedak are jane jakar mudaya nirajara bandate maj mokshane. Om Namah Siddhebhyo, Om Namah Siddhebhyo, Om Sri Suddhatmane Namaha. Jai Jinendra. Today is October 11, 2016, and we are continuing our Swadhyay on basic Jainism class. We are on the concluding section of all 6 substances. We talk in extreme detail about the soul, matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, space, and time. So it just puts everything to combine together. And also, by knowing 6 substances, actually, what do I know? What is my aim? And that's what I think this concluding section tells us. So we'll go directly to the slide. Share screen. Slide. Okay. We are up to this slide last time, so we'll start from this one. So, knowing the things about 6 substances, what transpires by knowing real nature of the eternal self. I understood about the self, means the soul, understood about the matter, understood that matter and soul has an intense close relationship, but still they are separate, that we found it out. Medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time, they all 4 act as an instrumental cause for the activity that soul is performing. Well, it is meant for all substances, but now knowing all the things, Now we are just going to concentrate on the soul and just say, what is there in for me? By knowing all these six substances, what is there for me? What do I learn? How do I learn? How do I clarify my doubts and everything? So, what transfers by knowing eternal nature of the self? Well, one's faith from worldly object gets removed. Remember, since time eternal, my faith is directed to the alien objects of the universe. Once I know that I, me as a soul, separate from all the alien beings of the universe, then my faith towards them gets diminished and or removed. Faith means I believe that this is going to help me out. This person is going to help me out. My boss is there. That's why I'm getting paycheck. I'm the mother, and if I'm not there, kids will not be able to get proper attention that they get it. The same thing for the spousal relationship and all this. But those are the far away of objects of the world. Far away means my soul has a space point up to here only in my soul. And everything else besides my soul, they are alien objects for me. And in that context, this body also occupying same space unit, but that body is also separate from me. And that kind of attention I'm getting. So now I'm away from the body. I'm not the body. And that is my uh, um, um, uh, first part of a discriminative science exercise. Discriminative science with Bhed Vignan. How do I divide from alien objects to me? So first I have to start working from body onwards, senses onwards. I cannot control senses, senses cannot control me, and they are associated relationship. That's all I have to understand. Once I understand that part, that means my attention from the bodily object gets reduced and or it gets removed. He means now me, means he means not somebody else, he means not the soul, it's me. Now I bring my attention, means my faith, to the eternal soul substance. Actually, my worldly object attention going away and my attention coming to the eternal soul, it happens simultaneously. For example, there's a darkness in the room and you flip the switch and the light came. Did the light come first or did the darkness got removed first? What happened? They both exactly at the same time happened. The moment the light came, the same moment the darkness disappeared. Moment I give my attention to the eternal soul substance, at the same moment my attention from the alien objects of the universe gets removed. For example, I'm facing east. Now I'm moving to west. As I'm moving from east to west, as much as west I'm coming, that much east I'm losing. So from east perspective, I'm losing. From west perspective, I'm gaining. So both the things are happening at the same time. There is no time difference between the worldly objects faith to be removed and faith for the eternal soul substance to occur. Exactly same time it happens. One is the sentence from a negative perspective, that attention to the worldly object goes away. Other is a positive aspect, that now I'm getting faith to my eternal soul substance. Now he understands the pathway all the way to liberation. Once I have found that what is the eternal true nature of the self, and I experience this self, when I'm experiencing self, then I experience a bliss at the same time. And this bliss experiences tells me, oh, That's where the bliss is. That's where the happiness is. So I should go within, I should get engrossed within, and that means it just opens up the pathway for the liberation. He ends up removing all his wrong faith. How did wrong faith got removed? As soon as the right faith came, wrong faith went away. As soon as worldly object attention went away, faith to the eternal soul substance came. So as soon as wrong faith went away, right faith came exactly at the same time. He now has enlightenment. The removal of the wrong faith and or achieving of the right faith, it's called enlightenment, it's called samyak darshan, it's called atma darshan, it's called atma pratiti, it's called self-realization. You give whatever name you want to give it, it is just the experiencing of the soul substance. If now that once he has experienced, he still has a weakness of his personal effort. Of course, he has an intense personal effort, and that's why he got the bliss. But relatively, these efforts are still somewhat weak, and so he is not able to remain engrossed in the eternal soul substance. For example, Monk Mahavir took the monkhood at the age of 30. Now he started remaining engrossed in his self. He kept on intensifying his personal effort. He kept on intensifying his purusharth. And with that thing, it took 12 and a half years for his meditative personal effort that he was able to remain engrossed in his eternal soul substance, and thereby he got the eternal bliss, eternal knowledge, eternal happiness forever. So experiencing the soul is one thing, then to get engrossed within is another thing, because now I have to remain engrossed. And for Mahavir, monk Mahavir, to remain in his engrossment state non-stop, he has to remain engrossed for 48 minutes. If he remains engrossed for 48 minutes non-stop in his eternal self, then he obtains omniscience, and then further he goes towards the liberation. But first day he experienced, came out, another experience, a little bit more, came out, again more, and by doing that way, it took 12 and a half years for Mahavir to get engrossed in his true nature of self. Knowing this one, there's no reason to get frustrated about that. Oh my God, if Mahavir took 12 and a half years, that means I have no chance. Well, in case of Rishabdev, it took 1 year. In case of Malinath, it took 24 hours. In case of Bharat, it took only 48 minutes. So it is all varieties of time frames are there in the past. That means it doesn't mean that I won't be able to do. Why should I worry about it? If I get engrossed within, I get eternal bliss, I get happiness. Who cares how long it takes? So I don't. It's a journey. It's just beautiful. So we have to pass through the journey. So hopefully, not hopefully, knowing all these things, we will go on that path also. He has now removed all his 5 cycle of changes, Panch Paravartan. Panch Paravartan, I think we just talked in the time when we are talking about time substance. Panch Paravartan is a huge time. Now, when we say huge and infinite, it doesn't make any mental note for me. But simple thing, take one droplet of water, not droplet, teeny tiny piece of water, teeny tiny amount of water. Compare that droplet to the whole Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean water. This droplet, if you can just give some few 1, 3, 5, 15 lives. So in this life, I'm living for 70, 80, 90 years, whatever time. And then the soul goes to another gati, maybe dev gati, maybe subhuman gati, maybe another human. And this kind of thing, he finishes 15 life. It appears to be a long time, but if that 15 life is the droplet versus the whole ocean water, you just put that comparison, and that is called panch paravartan. So that much time I have passed in the past in transmigration. Now that when I realize myself, then my further life, further mundane life, further transmigration life is like the droplet of water. And if I'm doing right thing, then I go to the another ocean of happiness, bliss, forever and ever and ever. So this teeny tiny time, actually that teeny tiny time is a 2000 sagropam years. That means when I'm in the nigod, lowest form of life, forever and ever and ever and ever, then I come out and I get 2000 sagropam years of life, in which I'm from the second 2 cents animal to 5 cents animal. And out of that 2000 sagropam years, I become the human life, which is again teeny tiny, 70, 80, 90, 100 years, whatever. So that droplet actually is 2000 sagropam years. And so in that time frame, if I self-realize myself, then I remove that ocean of misery on one side. And within no time, I will go to the another ocean of everlasting happiness on the other side. Now you can imagine the teeny tiny droplet is 2000 sagropam years. On this type of ocean, it's an infinite amount of years. And if I do the right thing, on the other side, the infinite amount of happiness forever, ever, and ever waiting for me. So, one thing, Acharya Bhagwan says, these are two choices only, you have it. You decide you want everlasting misery or you like everlasting happiness. Those two things. You decide, you act, you go for it. Choice is yours. We can't do anything about it, So rather than me getting bogged down to small little things of this life, oh my God, why that person did not do this, or why that person did to me like this, who cares about it? Why should I not put those those miseries secondary and just don't look at them? Just look at the bigger picture. I'm here for a reason, and I'm going to have the self-realization. I can go for everlasting happiness on this side of the ocean, or I'll go on the other side of the ocean with intense misery forever. What do I want? Choice is mine, not to blame anybody else. Knowing that one, now let's see, continue. How is the faith from all worldly object gets removed? So now, we already said previous slide, a worldly object gets, faith for the worldly object gets removed, but how? One ends up knowing that all infinite universal substances have infinite attributes of their own. As I have an infinite attribute, every universal substance, including matter, medium of motion, medium of ray, space and time, all the 6 universal substances, they have infinite attribute. And number of attribute wise, I'm the soul, I have infinite attribute, means let's say X. The matter also has X amount of infinite attribute, and so is medium of motion, medium of ray, space and time. So everybody has same number of attribute. It could be different type, but number are same. Now, every substance stays in its own innate quartet of substance, area, modes, and quality. Now, I have infinite attribute within me. This phone is a matter particle and also has an infinite attributes of their own. And me as a soul substance has my limitation of sphere of action within my substance, within the area covered by substance, within my own modes, and within my own attributes. So these are the innate quartet. Swachatushtai. Swachatushtai of Dravya Kshetra Kalbha. So my sphere of action is only limited up to that. It doesn't make difference what you did to me or what other person did to me or what I did not gain or what I gained. It doesn't make any difference. I have my sphere of action is within these four things only, and that's where my actions are. That's where I have to think about it. That's where I can keep going further. So no substance has dependency with any other one. This one has its own characteristics and the dependency. This shirt has its own characteristic and dependency. This glasses has its own characteristic and dependency of its own. And soul, me as a soul, has no dependency on anybody else, and I have my own characteristics. So knowing these facts, that my sphere of action remains within me. Why should I interfere in somebody else's behavior, somebody else's life? Why should I be jealous about somebody else? Why should I be having the ego again compared to somebody else? Why should I have anger towards somebody else? Somebody else is somebody else. He or she or that soul has its own sphere of action. I have my own sphere of action. Matter particle has its own sphere of action. Why should I get worried about it? Why should I just take my ownership on the alien objects of the universe? Knowing this one, my liking really from other substances get reduced. And when it gets reduced, then I come back to my own home. There is a Daulat Ramji wrote down one beautiful poem. That means it just says, I now has come back to my own home. So I'm just getting thought block about that stanza. It's really nice stanza, but it means that now I have come back to my own self because I have given up my attention from the alien objects of the universe. Then I'm all knower soul substance. That's all my characteristics. That's all my function is to know. Every substance transforms with its own sequential modes coming in order. This phone has its own sequential order of modes coming. This shirt has its own sequential mode coming in order. My body has its own sequential modes coming in order, and my soul has its own sequential modes coming in order. And I cannot change body's modes. I cannot change my shirt's mode. I cannot change my phone's mode. I cannot change my computer. I cannot change any worldly objects sequential modes coming in their own order. Every whole world is absolutely going in its own way, going perfectly normal way, because every substance performs their own work, doesn't interfere in anybody else's work at all. Once I know that part, so I'm not able to change any substance's modification. Now, okay, I take the wrong notion. If I was not there, what will happen to my kid? If I was not there, what will happen to my spouse? If I was not there, who is going to keep this house clean and everything? So that kind of attitude that I can change something somewhere somehow, that attitude goes away. So I'm not able to change any substantive modification. Now he ends up breaking his own doership inclination. એની કરતા બુદ્ધિનો નાશ થાય છે. હું પોરનું કાંઈ કરી શકું છું એ કરતા બુદ્ધિનો નાશ થાય છે. My doership inclination gets now destroyed. Every substances are independent. They have their own independence. They do their own activity, whatever they are supposed to do it. I cannot change anything to anybody. If you're watching the ball game on Sunday and you want to have your team win and other team is winning, what can you do? It was supposed to happen that way only, period. So why should I get angry, upset, or just start cursing the team and everything? No, it is just my entertainment. It should not give me the apprehension and upsetness and everything. I'm just watching. That's it. I'm the observer. That okay, two teams are playing. That's it. Simple. That's it. My doership should get out. He just becomes an observer of all the substances transformation. He becomes gnata, observer. I'm just simply observing. And so, how to understand the majesty of all knower soul substance? Now we just said, I'm the all knower soul substance. So, what is my majesty? How do I know that I am greatest of the great? Well, let's hang on to your, put the seatbelts on and see what's happening. Object of knowledge means gnay. Me as a soul substance end up knowing the whole universe. Well, where do I say the whole universe? Well, if your knowledge is not that sharp, you may not be able to observe the whole universe. But if you become omniscient Lord, you have a capacity to know the whole universe. For example, if an ant is passing by right now, and an ant is saying, oh my God, look at this guy, human being, he has a computer, he has a slide, he's talking different. If that ant has an intelligence, what will she be thinking? Oh my God, it is impossible, but somebody is doing all those things. Similarly, for me, it becomes impossibility. How can omniscient Lord can know the whole universe and perceive whole universe? He can do that, and you can do it too. We have a capacity. I can do it. You can do it. Everybody can. So, whole object of the name means object of knowledge is a huge. And so, what does that object of knowledge knows? Object of knowledge knows that there are infinite souls present in the universe. There are infinite souls present in the universe. Then it says there are infinite times 2 matter particles present in the universe. Okay. Then there are 3 times of past, present, and future. 3 summaries of past, present, future means moments of past, present, futures. And we already defined summary in the time substance, that how that microscopic summary is. And we get a simile, the blink of an eye, innumerable summary pass by, 10 raised to 49 and beyond. So that kind of summary from past infinite and future infinite means they are third type of infinite. Number 1 infinite times 2 infinite times 3 infinite, and then infinite times 4 is a space point of the cosmic space and transcosmic space combined together. So whole space is a huge thing beyond my cosmic space, beyond the cosmic space where we live. So the space point, if you take for the space, it becomes fourth infinite, means infinite times infinite times infinite times infinite. And next one comes is a number of attributes within me. This many attributes I have. I'm the owner of this many attributes. Infinite times infinite times infinite times fifth infinite. I'm the owner of that many attributes. And here I am going as a beggar and say, oh my God, only if I get my new iPhone, I'll be happy. If I get my new car, I'll be happy. What are you doing? You are the owner of infinite attributes within. You have no reason to go out. You are loaded with a absolute amount of majesty within. Look within and enjoy rather than thinking about worldly objects. Now, that many infinite thing we just said. Next infinite comes attributes in all the substances of the universe. That many substances combined together, their attribute, which if you take, that's a infinite times 6. Then infinite times 7 is modes of all the attributes of all the substances. Remember, one substance, one attribute has infinite mode from past, present, and future. So if I'm on the soul, I have the infinite attribute, so the infinite modes are loaded within me. And if I, yes.
And I asked you to just give a little clarification between the infinite times 3x, which is past, present, and future semi, versus the modifications of every attribute. Because aren't the modifications going forward and going from current to future?
No, past, present, and future. Modifications are past, present, and future you have to include.
So every modification has a past, present, and future?
No, every attribute has a modifications which are past, present, and future.
So if you look at the purple box that says infinite times 3, and have the green box that says infinite times 7.
See, these are only semi, right? We are talking semi. Now we are taking not only this is the semi, total semi of the past, present, future. Now each attribute can have infinite modes, past, present, and future. Now if one attribute has a mode which has a capacity from past, present, future, same as the semi of the past, present, future, then one attribute in the soul, there are infinite attributes, and there are infinite souls are there, infinite times infinite matter particles are there. And if you take everybody's modifications, then you come to the 7. Think about that part. How did we achieve that? Number one, we understood up to 5 that the infinite times 5 attributes are there, right?
You know what? I'm kind of getting confused with the definition of the mode, because every modification happens in a semi. So every semi has one modification for every attribute, right? So if you're talking about, so if every semi has, so let me just make it clear. Maybe that's just it. All I need to do is every semi has a past, present, future. And for every attribute, every semi has a modification.
Okay, hold it. I think you are just putting it upside down. Number one, 3 semi you are okay, right? Up to purple bullet you are okay, knowing that there are infinite semis are there in this universe.
That's right.
Okay. Now I'm taking one attribute, my own one attribute, which is knowledge attribute. Okay. This knowledge attribute has so many modes buried inside, that they were past, present, and future modes are buried inside. So all these 3 semis modes are buried only in the knowledge attribute. Now, if I have infinite attributes within me, that means that many modes are buried inside. Now I'm not taking soul only. In the green bullet over here in that infinite 7, what I'm saying, if the souls are infinite, then each soul's modification that you take, that means it becomes so many more. Each matter's modification you take it becomes that much more. Now, medium of I mean, a medium of motion. It's localized in the whole universe, and in the whole universe, any substance moving anywhere in the universe, and there is a modification occurring in that medium of motion. Any substance which is stopping, then medium of rays becomes instrumental cause for that. And so that way, if you consider that modes of all the attributes of all the substances of the universe.
Okay, you know what? That's what it is. I didn't read this second two lines of all the attributes of all the substances.
All the attributes, all the substances. That's right. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, everybody.
No, it's okay, but that's good. At least it gives a food for thought for everybody to say that, okay, where am I right now? Am I getting lost or what? No, so it's good. And now that's a seventh infinite. Now coming to eighth infinite. Infinite times 8 is indivisible. Smallest part of a mode is called avibhag pratiched. Now, if I take one mode of mine, which lasts for one samay only, and if I dissect that mode, for example, if it's dissectable mode, which it says avibhag. Avibhag means you cannot make divisions. Avi means not, bhag means divisions. I'm not able to make one mode is one mode unity. That's it. But if I go with a magnifying glass and look in that one mode, what is that mode made up of? Then there are infinite times 8. That many indivisible smallest part of the modes are present. For example, this is a very difficult word to understand, and actually it took a long time for me to understand. Now that I understood, I become so happy that, oh my God, Acharya Bhagwan has gone so amazing microscopic way to explain to us how this universe is made up of, or who am I, what I'm made up of. For example, if we take Siddha Bhagwan, just imagine Siddha Bhagwan, okay? Siddha Bhagwan is a substance, right? He's a liberated soul. He's a substance. That substance has a mode. And that substance has an attribute. He has infinite attribute. We just take the knowledge mode on, knowledge attribute only. Now this knowledge attribute has an infinite modes, right? Yes. So now I'm taking only one mode of that knowledge attribute of the liberated soul, Siddha Bhagwan. This mode, how much this mode knows, what's the capacity of this mode to know? Capacity of this mode is to know the self completely, absolutely. At the same time, this mode, this knowledge mode of Siddha Bhagwan can reflect in its mode all the infinite attributes of infinite substances and their past, present, and future modes. At a time, it reflects on that mode, one samay mode. So whole universe, all the substances, infinite souls, infinite times infinite matter particle, medium of motion, medium of rays, space and time and everything, all these substances of past, present and future, their modifications. Siddha Bhagwan's soul in one samay can perceive that whole thing. Now, that means Siddha Bhagwan's present mode knows, he knows that mode comes to know that I am talking right now. So it registered there. Okay, somebody is listening, registers there. Computer is projecting slide, registers there. Light is giving light, registers there. Phone is sitting idle, registers there. So all this registration going on in one mode at a time. Not only I'm speaking, but my past, present, and future modifications, including my present one, is perceived. So only we take present one right now. And one present part of that knowledge mode, knowing that I am speaking at this point, that point is called one avibhag pratiched, one indivisible smallest part of the mode. Now you can imagine how many things Siddha Bhagwan is perceiving at a given moment. It doesn't stop there. Remember, this is one Siddha Bhagwan. He knows the whole universe, including all the other Siddha Bhagwans too. So let's say that this is another Siddha Bhagwan standing here. So another Siddha Bhagwan is also observing the whole universe. So this Siddha Bhagwan observes the mode of the other Siddha Bhagwan, who is also observing the modes of the whole universe. So this guy ends up knowing twice. Now you put that infinite Siddha Bhagwan. So how much this mode has capacity to know in a given moment in a Siddha Bhagwan's mode. Similarly, I have the same kind of a knowledge mode which can perceive the whole universe, past, present, future, only because my knowledge is blunted, so I don't feel it. So now you understand what is this avibhag, infinite, indivisible, smallest part of a mode. So if that smallest part of the mode has that much capacity, one mode has that much capacity, that mode is coming from the one attribute, like knowledge attribute has that much capacity, and that kind of infinite attributes are present within me, and I am that soul substance. I'm the owner of all those things. Isn't it that I have a grandeur occurring within me, that how much capacity I have to know all these things and perceive and everything? So I have not realized that my capacity, I have all that capacity within me. So we'll go further. All objects are knowable, means I have capacity to know all the objects of the universe, and I am the all-knower soul substance. I'm the knower of all this soul, of all the substances. I have capacity to know all these objects within my knowing mode. This mode comes from knowledge attribute, and all knower soul substance is the refuge place for all this infinite attribute. And so this creates the majesty of all knower soul substance. How great am I? This kind of information, this kind of understanding, when I have it, then I know that now I have to go and touch that part. I have to scratch the surface, and I have to enjoy the bliss is within. Bliss will come if I go within. Now, quickly, the next 3 sets of slides are coming, which will be, I'm pretty sure within the next 15 minutes we'll finish. It's a thing that we already know, so we'll be going a little bit faster also. It's kind of revision right now. So okay, let me put this thing down right now. Okay, so now we are taking 6 substances. Here I'm taking soul and matter only right now. So name is a soul, name here is matter. What is the characteristics of soul? It's a soul's characteristic is consciousness. Matter's characteristic is to have touch, taste, smell, color, etc. attribute having within. How many numbers of souls are there? Well, we know infinite. Matter are infinite times infinite. We know those parts. That's why there is, we don't have to stop for a long time over here. 1 second, let me put this one aside. Then, sorry. Area, how much area soul is covering? Innumerable space point. How much area matter can cover? Matter can cover 1 space point from atom perspective. It can also occupy numeral numerable, innumerable, and infinite space point depending on the size of the aggregate molecules. Does it have more space point than one? Well, soul has a more than one space point, so its matter is more than one space point, and that's why they are called astikai. They are called kai, K-A-Y. Kai is a word. Kai means more than one space point. Divisions, well, there are two types of division: transmigratory soul and liberated soul. And here divisions are atoms or aggregate molecules, Parmanu and Skand. There are two divisions are there. General attributes are eternal existence, substancehood, objectivity, attributes, etc. Here, eternal existence, substancehood, objectivity, attribute, etc. These are the things: eternal existence, substancehood, objectivity, etc. are the subject of our next talk starting next week onwards. So these are the general attributes present in all the 6 universal substances. Then what are the specific attribute of a given substance? Well, knowledge, perception, conduct attribute, happiness, bliss, etc. are the specific attribute of the soul. And for the matter, it's a touch, taste, smell, color, etc. Modes, see what we talk about? We talk about substance over here, we talk about attributes over here. Now we are talking about the mode of the substance. So one shape mode and mode of infinite attribute. Now these are the things we have not taken this subject yet, and if you don't understand right now, I won't spend the time, because when we come to the section of mode in the future sometimes, then at that time we'll know this thing a lot. Right now, just leave it the way it is. I won't worry about that part to go in detail, because it becomes separate total subject for 2 hours of our talk, Same thing over here, one shape modification and a mode of infinite attribute, Arthaparyay and Vyanjan Paryay. So these are the characteristics of soul and matter. Now that I know about it, now I'm going to go to the next things. Next things are medium of motion, medium of rest. What's the name? Medium of motion, medium of rest. Characteristics: instrumental cause in a motion of a substance, means gati hetutva, that we have gone through the detail. Medium of rest, instrumental cause for instrumental cause let me just take this. Instrumental cause for stoppage of motion of a substance, means sthiti hetutva. Then comes number. They have one number and spread it through the whole universe. Same thing, medium of rest, one number spread it through the whole universe. Area covered by them, same as the cosmic space, means innumerable space point. Same thing for medium of rest, innumerable space point. So medium of motion, medium of rest, they both have innumerable space points. Does it have more space point than one? Well, naturally it just says innumerable space point. That means more than one space point. Yes, in medium of motion, yes, for medium of rest. That means this has asti kai. Asti means eternal existence. Kai means more than one space point. So medium motion and medium rest, and previous slide, soul and matter, they all are having eternal existence and also more than one space point occupation. So that's why they are called astikai. And if you just go through the one of the scripture that Acharya Kunkun Swami wrote down, it's called panchastikai. Pancha astikai means 5 substances with more than one space point and having eternal existence. So then they are including soul, matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, and space. Time has existence, but it is only one unit. And so it's not called kai, so it's only called asti. So it's called panchasti kai, It is description of all the five substances and also description of the time substances there also. So that's a one substance. That's a one scripture that Acharya Kunkun Swami wrote down. It's part of the five important scriptures that he wrote down. Divisions, yes. I mean, there are no division. Means medium of motion is one big block. There are no divisions within. Same thing, medium of rays, one big block covering the entire universe. There are no divisions within. Same thing. What are the general attributes? Same as before, that they have eternal existence, substancehood, objectivity, etc., attribute, etc. They are general attribute present in all the six universal substances. Same thing, medium of rays also has the same thing, having eternal existence, substancehood, objectivity, attribute, etc. The general attributes are there. There are general attributes means as long as there is a substance, that substance has certain attributes. Just being a substance, there are attributes. And so all the six universal substances have common attributes. For example, eternal existence means any substance of the universe, whether it's a soul, me, whether it's a matter, the shirt or the body, or medium of motion, medium of rays, space and time, any attribute, I mean any substance, they have existence of their own. They don't depend on anybody else for their own existence. So just because of me, something is going on right or something is going on wrong, that's my wrong belief. I can't do anything to anybody. Everybody has their own eternal existence attribute. They exist because of their own way. That glass has an eternal existence of all those infinite molecule making that glass, and the glass breaks right now. And oh my God, this kid is not good, and he kid doesn't care about it, and he's scared. No, it was supposed to happen that those molecules which had combined together to make glass, then their mode was such that they're supposed to be separate right now. So it happened, and that kid's hand became the instrumental cause. If I simply understand this one small principle, then my anger to the things happening around reduces, because it was supposed to happen, it happened. Why to worry about it? So that kind of attitude it gives us. So they're general attributes. Now, what about the specific attribute for this substances? So medium of motion is a main specific attribute is called instrumental cause in motion of a substance, means gati hetutva. Only the way medium of motion it will be differentiated from the other substances, that it simply becomes medium of instrumental cause for a substance which has capacity to move. Substance moves by itself. I am moving by myself. Me as a body, me as a soul, we are moving by our own self. Medium motion simply provided instrumental cause. Medium motion did not give the motion. It just simply gave the vehicle. For example, fish is swimming in the water. What did water do? Water's presence is utmost important. If water is not there, fish cannot swim. But if I just say water is the reason for any substances to swim, no, because only fish has a capacity to swim, but if I throw the rock has a capacity to sink. So swim or sink is their own individual characteristics. Water simply provided instrumental cause. Same thing, medium motion provided instrumental cause. Motion occurs because of me as a soul or me as a physical body, particles. If I consider my body is mine, then physical body or any other substance in the universe, they move by themselves. The medium of motion provides instrumental cause. That is its own specific characteristics. Then on the other side, medium of rest has capacity as an instrumental cause in stoppage of the motion of a substance. Substance stops by itself, it remains instrumental cause. Remember the famous example we gave about the tree. Tree is giving shade. Tree is giving shade, but when? To whom? When I'm walking, it's very hot sun, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I want to take rest. I decided to take rest. So I broke my journey of walking and I stopped by looking at the tree with a nice shade. So tree did not do anything. I stopped, and so tree gave the shade to me. Other friend of mine, they did not stop, so tree did not become instrumental cause for them. So here, specific attribute for medium of rest is instrumental cause in stoppage of the motion of a substance, sthiti hetutva. Going further in the mode, same as previous when it's coming, one natural shape modification and infinite pure modification of the attribute. Anant swabhav artha paryay, anant swabhav vyanjan paryay. Actually what it is, soul has a, substance has an infinite attribute. And substance also has a shape or shape of its own. Just consider from the shape perspective. Let's say that I'm the human being. Let's say this is my shape. So my shape keeps producing modification. So that's called shape modification. All is called Vyanjan Paryay. And me as a soul has an infinite attribute within, and all the attributes also having the modes occurring also. So my shape is making modification, so it's one type of modification. My infinite attributes are making modification, that's another type of modification. And again, as I say, when we come to the mode section, we'll go in detail, but just because it's coming again and again and again, so it's better we throw some light on it. Now, same thing happens for the medium of rest. One natural shape modification, one swabhav vyanjan paryay, and infinite pure modification of the attribute, anant swabhav artha paryay. So vyanjan paryay, artha paryay, when we come, we'll talk more about it. And now comes the last part, last slide. Last slide says that it's what's the name of the substance? Space substance, akash. And time substance, kal. What's the characteristic of space? Instrumental cause providing accommodation for every substance in the universe. And time, what's the characteristic of time? It's an instrumental cause in modification of a substance. Now, I woke up in the morning, my alarm started buzzing, I put it on snooze. Finally, alarm woke me up again. I went to bathroom. I did this, I did that. All kind of activity that I performed since morning till evening. I did myself, and time simply became instrumental cause in all those modifications. Just like the water became instrumental cause for fish to swim, same way time also remained instrumental cause for my own modification. I did modification by my own way, time simply was instrumental cause. Then coming further, let's put this guy up here. Number, the space is totally one, but time innumerable space point, innumerable is there because cosmic space is innumerable space, and each space time is sitting on it. The absolute time is sitting on it. That's why there are innumerable time are there. Area of the space is infinite because it is covering the cosmic space as well as transcosmic space, so infinite space point. And time occupies only one space point. time occupies only one space point. That's why, does it have more than one space point? Does it have eternal existence? This space has more than one space point and has an eternal existence, but time has only one space point. The one space point means does not have more than one space point, but it has eternal existence. So this is called astikai. This is called asti only, as we defined before. Divisions, there are two divisions, cosmic space and transcosmic space. Time has no division because only one unitary solitary thing. General attributes are same as before: eternal existence, substancehood, objectivity attribute, etc. And same is for the time: eternal existence, substancehood, objectivity attribute, etc. Actually, there are six common attribute that we mention about it, and as we come, we'll talk more about it. So at least right now, you are just getting some exposure what's going to come next. Specific attribute, same as above: instrument cause in providing accommodation for the space, and for the time, instrument cause for modification of a substance, means parinaman hetutva. And last thing about those modes, which about it's called shape modification and modification of all the remaining attributes present in a space. Same thing is present in a time. Here we have gone. I know last three slides we went rapidly because we have gone through that one. This is, if you want to know, this is the 33rd hour of our Swadhyaya on substance. So we have gone through those things in detail. We know that part. It is just kind of a revision that we are going through, refreshing our memory. And now that we know substance, now that we have a very solid foundation about substance, that will be going to the attributes. First, we'll start with the general attributes, like over here it says general attribute. Then we'll go to specific attribute. Then we'll go to modes, and then it will keep on going further. So these are the things that we have so far. We have completed this chapter of substance. We'll start next week. But next week, I had the announcement that next week I may not be, well, I won't be able to do it because I will be, I'm going to India. So Mona is conducting 6 days of Shibir in Mangalayatan, and I had to represent Mona. I'm going to be there. A few of our friends are also coming from US and everything, and there are lots and lots and lots of people are coming from India in that place. And it's going to be one of the great time that I'm going to experience, because I'm going to be in the company of super experts that whatever doubts I have, they'll be helping me out to clear those doubts. The class starts at 5:30 morning all the way up to 10 o'clock night, almost non-stop. And by the way, we are going to Zoom also from 5 o'clock morning or 5:30 morning all the way to 10 o'clock night. And I know part of the things will be night over here. We'll also record, but it's going to be in Hindi. So if you understand Hindi, you'll be able to enjoy. If not, I'll come back and we'll just translate everything into English. Any questions so far?
So Kiritanka, when would we start listening again when you come back from India?
No. What will you do next week? Actually, I'll be in the plane. I'll be transit. So next week will not be possible. And I will send the email, the time, the internet availability, and the place where I am, whether I have 1 hour free there or not, or whatever. So yeah, we will have a few classes done from there. Only the thing, I don't know exact timing, that days and time, but I will send the email ahead of the time. Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
All right. Okay.
And what is the Mona thing you're going for?
That's a Shibir that we are going to conduct from 26th October to 31st October. 31st October is a New Year, and the 30th October is Mahavir Nirvan Day. Mahavir Swami obtained Nirvana that day. They are going to have a grand puja and everything. They do a fantastic job doing that puja and everything. And as I said, we'll put on Zoom, and it will be amazing to witness that one. And if not, I'll just record and then we'll upload those things, and so that way, ultimately it will be uploaded in Jain Center website, and so you'll be able to pull those things out from there.
Okay, sounds exciting. Okay.
All right. And is there any other questions or any comment or anything? If not, then we'll do closing, okay? यावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लो कालो, सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देता हूँ। नौ का 9 का मंत्र। Michami Dukram, thank you.
Have a great trip.
Thanks, Brad. Bye.
Bye-bye.